mucho emocional to be here with all of you, and I want to share with you a couple things. First of all, I didn't serve anywhere. I went on the IDF. I live in Seattle, Washington. I'm an American, but the way I got involved, too loud? The way I got involved with this, we are here all the same. Some of you remember in 2006, when the Second Lebanon War broke out, they came across, Hezbollah came across and captured, they actually killed 3 Chayalim, took their bodies back across Lebanon. We went back to war to get their bodies back and push Hezbollah back. Well, every day I was reading, another soldier dies, 10 more soldiers are injured. And I was in Seattle, and at one point, I couldn't take it anymore, and I thought, there's got to be something we can do. You can't just read the Jerusalem Post every day and be upset. So I called up all my friends. I probably called 50 people. I said, we're going to Israel. And out of 50 people, 4 came with me. And to make a long story short, we ended up, the main hospital that was receiving all the injured soldiers, guys, was Rambam Hospital in Haifa. And in that hospital, it was a target for Hezbollah. So all the civilians who were injured from the rockets, half of them Arab, half of them Jewish, were put in the parking lot underneath the hospital. And all the soldiers, all the Chayalim, who some of them were between life and death, were above ground and exposed. And Gilly, who was in the movie, was with us. And when we were there in the hospital, the siren went off, which means Hezbollah was sending rockets. All of the nurses and the doctors ran to the parking lot. And I was also starting to run. You know, I don't know if you guys have been in a bombing before, but it's scary. But Gilly didn't run. And I said to him, well, you're not going to go down to we're being bombed. He said, I'm not going to leave my brothers. So I knew right away there was something very special between him, as you know, he was shot and survived, and all of the soldiers that were in the hospital. And we went back to Gilly and said, Gilly, you have to go back and help your brothers. And that's what they started to do. They started to collect guys like our soldiers here, one by one. After the war, we brought them to Seattle first and other communities. And unfortunately, I really mean unfortunately, we have well over 500 injured soldiers in this foundation. And the most important thing to remember is that the foundation is completely run by them. There's nothing that can replace someone who has survived, who has seen death and survived it, and is now reclaiming their life. Nothing can compare for a newly injured soldier to have a brother like that who's been with him. So now, guys, we just had a war in Israel last summer, in Tzuk and Miro Aini, Captain Miro Aini, relax, Miro, was fought in Gaza. He's going to tell you a little bit about himself. Don't worry, I'm not going to say too much. But I want to end up by saying a couple of important things to all of you. One, guys, 80% of people in the IDF, and everyone's important, are not combat soldiers like they are. Most of them choose. It's a small group of people that choose to be in fighting units, and you know if you're in a fighting unit in Israel, what that means. 2 is, every one of the soldiers in the foundation, including these 3 leaders, they wouldn't give their lives just for their brothers in the IDF, for their families, and for all the citizens of Israel. They would give their lives for every one of you in this room, right now. They would be the first people to stop the terrorists. Thank God nobody came through that door. So we have to understand, this to me, it's not a tzedakah or a charity. This is a huge brigade of injured soldiers who are helping each other heal. And what a privilege it is for us to be in their presence, and what a debt we owe them for keeping the state of Israel for all the Jewish people and protecting all of us here. It's something I never forget. I live with every day. It makes me feel very small. But it's a tremendous privilege for me to be here. So, with that, I would like to introduce the first one of our soldiers to speak. I'm going to call up Captain Miro Amy, who serves now in the Divan unit, and he's going to say a few words.